Roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Optimal Optimus, and I love this toy. Originally released in 1998, this guy retails for approximately $20, which blows my mind because this guy is not only huge, but he's got 4 modes. He's got the ape mode, which we're looking at right now. He's got a truck mode, he's got a jet plane / spaceship mode, and he's also got a robot mode. So lots to cover. Let's get right into it. Here in ape mode, Optimus is approximately 8 inches tall at the top of the head, 10 if you want to go to the top of the cannons that he's got right here on the back. And yeah, so as you can see now, he is like this robotic ape. You know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this toy relies very, very heavily on children's imaginations, and you're gonna see that a lot more when we get into the vehicle modes, the truck and the jet plane. Those really require a lot of imagination, but I can see what they were going for here, and it makes for a very fun toy. He's a little fiddly. He's going to be a little fiddly, a little difficult to transform in camera or whatnot, but still, lots of play features with this guy. Kind of fun. I kind of like it. It's so silly that I like it. So yeah, as you can see, he's a gorilla, but he's like a robotic gorilla now. He's got cannons up on the top there. I really like that face. That face just looks so angry. Love that a lot. A lot of detail going around here. You've got a lot of this vacuum metallized finish to him. So the blues and the purples here are this reflective, shiny, metallic looking paint. Really like that a lot. Maximo symbols right here on the shoulders. Lots of armor. These pieces right here are going to be shields later on. You've got this nice cannon in the back there. And again, you can see the Maximo symbols right here on the back as well. And you got some wings here as well, which are going to come into play later for his flight mode. So very, very cool. Now, he does have articulation. His head does not move in this mode, but he does have universal shoulders, so you can move up and down. You can rotate them. You can go in and out just like so. You can rotate, again, in universal joint at the elbow, so you can rotate the elbow. You can bring it in and out. And you can rotate the wrist. You can rotate the thumb, and you can rotate the knuckles here at the top knuckle right here. You do have a waist articulation, so you can rotate them at the waist some. You have a universal joint at the hip, so you can go forward and backwards. You can go in and out some. You do have a bend at the knee, and you have a little bit of tilt down here at the ankle. So not bad articulation. Not extremely posable though because of how much stuff he's got on him. But yeah, it's still quite a good piece of a good set of articulation. And now I'm having trouble trying to get him to stand straight for the camera the way that I had him. There you go. Because I want to demonstrate these cannons that he's got sitting up top. So as you can see, he's got this big cannon backpack sitting back here on his back. And you can go ahead and move this, rotate it all the way forward just like so. And then there are a couple of missiles right here on the back of his legs right here. There's these 2 clips right here. He comes with 4 of these, so you can have 2 stowed away at the legs right here, and then 2 in his missile launchers right here. So you can have 2 and 2. I currently just have him with only the 2 because I don't want to. Let me put this back down here. If I were to have them like that, those cannons just look way too long with those missiles sticking out. You see that? I can barely even get them on camera. So I like to just keep the 2 on them. But you can bring this forward, and then this is pretty cool. If you pull back, you're going to pull back on these, this back piece right here. You can kind of just pull back on that. So if you pull back on it just a little bit, you're going to see that the inside of the missiles lights up. You see the this piece right here in the middle? This lights up. This is kind of like a sight, like a laser sight. And then if you look inside the missiles are translucent. And, yeah, there you go. So you can see there's LEDs inside the launchers right there. So those also light up in red, which give this cool glowing effect to the missiles themselves. And then you can just pull. That's just pulling a little bit, has the lights. And then when you pull back the rest of the way, it shoots out the missiles just like so. And if you want to keep the cannons over his shoulders, there's this button right here on the top of this launcher. If you push on the button, it allows you to fold that in half. So now you can actually have the 8 with the cannons over his shoulders like so. So whichever way you like that, with the cannons up or with the cannons down, completely up to you. These missiles I'm going to leave off of his legs for the duration of the review, because these are two pieces that love to fly off of him when you're trying to transform him. So I wanted to show you where they stowed and how they shot, and now I'm going to set them aside for the rest of the review. Optimus also comes with a rifle. Now, I don't have the original rifle. The original rifle looks exactly like this, but it's painted orange, just like you see the details on his body. This is a rifle that came off of a knockoff Optimal Optimus that I found like at Big Lots or something like that. So I got that so that I can have some parts for this guy. When I originally, this guy was a repair, so I got a knockoff to be able to repair him with, and then I kept the rifle because I obviously I don't have the rifle for this guy. So that's what this guy is. So typically you would be able to, there are a couple of pegs on the back of the rifle here and here, and typically you would be able to peg the rifle right here in either one of these ports, and that would be where he stores his rifle. Now the rifle for the knockoff is obviously, the peg is not thick enough, so obviously that's not holding very well, as you can see. But typically that's what it would look like right there. That's where it would stow normally. So again, for the rest of the review, I'm just going to leave that off to the side. And there you go. There's one last look at Optimal Optimus and his ape mode. And then we're going to go into transformation for the truck mode. So we're going to want to go ahead and straighten this thing back out again. We are going to take the arms and just take them all the way up and just kind of get them out of the way. In fact, you can pull out on the shoulder pieces here. You can just pull on those just to help keep them out of the way for the time being, because we're going to need to get in here and really line up. And this is what I'm talking about. A lot of pieces that like to just fall off of this thing. So just be aware of that. All right, so let's just get the arms up and out of the way. I am going to give these shields one more chance to stay in place. And then if they fall off again, I'm going to keep them off throughout the transformation until we get into the robot mode. So let's see. Line these guys in here just right. Come on. Alrighty, one last chance, guys. You fall off one more time and I'm done with you. Okay, go ahead and just really squat Optimus down and just kind of bring his knees up into his chest. Oh, and I have to show this before we leave the ape mode. Optimal Optimus right there on the chest. I think that's so silly. You know, originally that was something that I did not like about Beast Wars and Generation 2 in general, was how they put the names on their chest. But now, 20, 30 years later, I find that so endearing. So anyway, just kind of bend him down so that his knees are touching his chest, just like so. His legs down here have this peg and port. So go ahead and peg those together. You're going to want those pegged together. And now we're going to take the shoulders right here. We're going to separate the shoulders. And you're going to notice that the top of his torso here has these pegs that are pegged into those discs right in there. So just separate those. Bring the whole chest out, and then out from inside of the chest, you're going to pull out on these wheels right here, and then at the top of the chest, you're going to pull the ape head down and in there, and bring this all the way out. Go ahead and peg these the wheels back into that shoulder bar right there. Go ahead and peg those back in place just the way they were. Bring this all the way forward, and then bring that wheel forward just like that. Take the cockpit right here. Take the gun. You're going to see there's a cockpit right there. Go ahead and lift on that and rotate it around. And then rotate the gun around one more time. Just like that. Then we are going to take the feet down here. The feet are going to clip up twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that. And then these wings are going to kind of hold this cannon in place. Right here at the feet, you're going to notice these panels. These have wheels, so go ahead and flip these forward. Just like so. And now this is where the difficult part is going to come. We're going to bring the arms all the way back in again on these shoulders. Bring those down. And this is the tricky part right here. So we are going to want to line these up to where these pegs on the inside of the arms, let me see if I can get these up. These pegs on the inside of the arms are going to want to go into this port, this top port on the wheel right there. And it's kind of tricky to line those up and peg them in without the fingers of the 8 mode getting in the way. The fingers are going to create kind of like this grill, sort of, for the truck. And yeah, it's kind of tricky lining everything up just right. Let's see, I think I almost got it. And this is really kind of a gamble trying to do this on camera. All right, so once you get those pegged in, then you turn the thing to the side and they come unpegged again. Because we're on camera. Come on. All right, there we go. And then just kind of try and straighten out his knees right there. There we go. And that wasn't too bad. And there we are. We'll bring the camera down just a little bit. And there is Optimal Optimus in his truck mode. And as you can see, yeah, a lot of imagination required for this. He does have 4 wheels on the back. He's got this big wheel right there in the front right there. And as you can see, the what I'm talking about, the hands kind of sort of become like this armored grill for him, I suppose. He does have a little cockpit right here, so a rider or a driver could ride up here. This cockpit does open. Now, in the show, this is where he kept the spark for Optimus Prime. You know, Optimal Optimus took Optimus Prime's spark and held it within his chamber, which actually turned him into this. And this is where that spark was kept. You can actually see it in the show. You can see the little cockpit closed, and you can see the spark in there just kind of glowing, which was kind of cool. But there you go. There's the truck mode. He rolls okay, as you can see. He rolls fine. Once you get everything lined up, okay, like I said, lining everything up just right can be a little tedious. But once you get everything lined up, there you go. He rolls pretty good. Here in truck mode, Optimus is approximately 11 inches long. He's about 6 inches tall at the top of the cannon here. And once again, you can bring in the missiles and load these guys in just like so. And then just pull back on this part back here. And there you go. There's your missile launcher right there. So, and again, you could have the gun up here. If my gun clipped in, you could have the gun up there for some extra firepower. So, there you go. Going all the way around. There you go. It's kind of silly. You can see kind of a ape chest right in there. And then, of course, you got these panels right here. This is your armor right here. This grill is your armor. This is your armor. This is your cockpit. You know, it's funny because you got all this armor, some more armor down here on the side, some more armor up here. You got all this armor protecting the bulk of the vehicle, but nothing is protecting what would be the driver right there, which is kind of silly. But there you go. And you got some thrusters back here on the back of on the bottom of the feet. So there you go. There is Optimal Optimus in his truck mode. Going into jet mode. Jet mode is not going to be far separated from this. We're going to go ahead and unpeg the arms, straighten them out, and go ahead and pull them out again. Ugh, this shield thing is just driving me crazy. You know, usually I don't have... Usually my biggest problem is with the missiles popping off of the legs, not with these missiles, and for what, or these shields rather. But for whatever reason today, these shields want to mess with me. All right, straighten out the arms and pull them out all the way, just like so. Get those things back in there one more time. Come on. All right, straighten out the fit. You're going to want to rotate the fits down just like that. Come back here to where these wheels are. Take these panels and flip them up one more time. Just like they were in 8 mode. And then we are going to go and separate. Let's see what's the best way to show this. We're going to separate the chest. We're going to rotate the wheels back inside and the ape head back out again. So we're going to bring this pretty much back to the ape configuration and peg it back into place again. Just like so. Leave the head down like that. Then this cockpit is going to come down and settle over the ape head. So that's going to kind of cover the ape head like that. And then you're going to just straighten everything out. Straighten out the arms. Straighten out the cannon. Straighten out the legs. And then bring out the wings. Just like this. And again, a lot of imagination is required on the part of the user. There we go. This guy's going to be a little hard to show on camera because this guy's kind of huge. But there you go. There is your jet mode right there. And yeah, let me see. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do it for the purpose of this one because it's just so big. I'm going to pick up the camera and just show them off right there. So there you go. There is the jet mode, which is really, really huge. Here in jet mode, Optimus is approximately 11 inches long. He's about 5 inches tall at the top of the cannons. He's got a wingspan of about 18 inches, which is why I'm having such a hard time showing him off. But as you can see, for the most part, he looks just like the truck did. except there's no wheels. The arms all just came out, and then the wings just kind of spread out. And yeah, he has kind of like this Superman mode thing going on right here. If you look at him from underneath, because you can see the ape head, you can see it just kind of looks like an ape doing the Superman. So, unfortunately, but when you look at him from the top, he does a little bit of a better job of looking like a jet. So there you go. Again, a lot of imagination required from the kids on this one. All right, so, and again, still, you got the cannons up here that work perfectly fine. You can load up your missiles and shoot those off, and there you go. So, all right, moving on to the robot mode. So, robot mode, we're going to want to, oh, geez. All right, let's see. Let's start off with the legs. Straighten out the legs all the way out and rotate them at the waist, just like so. Bring the cockpit back down again, and you are going to notice that there is a little peg on the bottom of the cockpit, and there's a little port right there at the waist. So you just go ahead and plug it in right there. Just straighten out his feet. Kind of try and get him standing up already. Alrighty, so let's see. All right, go back here to the ape chest one more time. We're going to open this up again. We're going to bring the wheels out one more time. We're going to put the ape head in again. We're going to bring this down all the way. Now, we're going to bring the wheels all the way up like so, and then these are going to split in half and rotate out just like this. These discs right here for the shoulder, remember we have these pegged in. Let's see where I can show this. Remember we have these pegged in right here. We're going to go ahead and rotate these shoulder discs and rotate these all the way out. Now, don't get the ports confused with the screw holes. As you can see, there's a very big difference right there. There's a very obvious difference between the screw hole and the peg right there, or the port right there. So we're going to rotate them around, and we're going to have this port, which is actually a lot closer in than the other one was. And we're going to peg it in right there. And you can see the difference that makes. Let me see if I can back it up a little bit. You can see the difference that makes on the shoulders. See how it rotates the shoulder and it pegs it in at a much higher position than it was for ape, truck, and jet mode. So we're going to want to do that on both sides. And when we do that, it's going to go ahead and rotate the arms for us, as you can see. Bring these back down again, just like so. Rotate the arms at the elbows, just like that. Actually, I got them on the wrong side. The other way. There we go. Rotate them out like so, because we are actually looking at the back of the robot. So bring these back down again, this way. There we go. Turn them around, and then this whole cannon emplacement thing here is going to come down just like so. The hands, you're going to want to rotate the hands around, and then you can see the thumb right there is going to flip over just like that. Do the same thing on this side. Open the hands up. Flip the thumb, bring them around. Now, for robot mode, these shoulder pieces do stick all the way out. I think they look a little silly, and it's a little exaggerated, I think, but they are supposed to be out like that for the robot mode. And then finally, we're going to reach back here, and we're going to bring the head out, and we're going to pop this guy down right there in place. Get everything lined up. And the knees, make sure that the knees are all the way out. So the knees have this double hinge thing right here for the ape mode, which comes down just like that. So make sure that the hinge on this comes all the way up, and then click it up into place for the robot mode. It really only kind of stretches it up about a ½ an inch, which doesn't sound like much, but then when you look at him, as you can see, it actually does make a big difference in his stance. And then we're almost done. One last thing we're going to do is going to be with these darn shields. So we are going to have a really hard time getting this guy in camera. So we are going to pop the shields off, this time on purpose, and get these guys out. And you can leave them in there if you want, but in the show, he actually had these up on his shoulders. There's a couple of pegs on the inside here and here. And if you look at the top of the shoulders, there's a couple of pegs there and one on the back there. So you're just going to want to hug the shoulder just like that, and then just peg those guys into place. And yeah, I'm going to have to do it off camera. Let me peg the one in the back, peg the one in the front. And they're not going to clip together the way they were in the on the forearms as shields. They are going to have a gap. They are going to have a separation, and that is on purpose. So there's one. Go ahead and do the other. And then we are going to need to back this camera up so that we can get a full shot of Optimal here. Optimal Optimus. We're almost done with the robot mode. Like I said, this guy is kind of fiddly, but he does offer a lot of play options, and I think he's fun and cool. And what's going on here? I'm not getting lined up here. There we go. Alrighty, so let's get this guy backed up all the way. There we go. Now we can see him completely in shot. And there we have Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Optimal Optimus in robot mode. And this guy is huge. Here in robot mode, he's approximately 9 inches tall at the top of the head. 13 inches if you want to go back to up here to the top of these gigantic shoulder pads that he's got. So, yeah, pretty much this guy's gigantic. And like we do with a lot of the Beast Wars Optimals here, or Primals, pretty much the back of the ape is now the front of the robot. But it's very successful at doing so, and it's not very obvious to where all the ape parts went, except for the feet right here. These are obviously the same legs that we had in the ape mode. But other than that, I mean, he did a pretty good transformation, I think. Now, as far as articulation goes, pretty much the same articulation that we had in ape mode, except that now we do have an added rotation at the head. We've got the universal at the shoulders. We got the the bend and the rotation at the elbow. We got the rotation at the wrist. We also have a little bit of in on the wrist right there. Now that we don't have the shields in there on the arms, we can actually turn the wrists some. You have the thumb and you have the fingers. You got your waist, your hips, your knees, and your feet. So there you go. Pretty good set of articulation. Again, very pulsable with this guy. And a lot of people like to give him the A stance. Although, for this guy, the A stance is just so wide that I don't think that looks good at all. This would have been greatly helped if he had a rotation at the thigh, which unfortunately he does not have. So, again, for the missiles, we're going to do these one more time because there is an added light now that we have the head down. It's pretty ingenious the way this works. So you saw initially... Actually, let me take this out for a second. You saw initially the 3 lights that we had. We had the light at the sight right there, and then we had the 2 lights inside the cannons right there. But now, if you look at his head, his eyes also light up green, as you can see right there. So that's pretty cool because there's a little flap where the head sits that's usually closed, and when the head comes down, it actually moves the flap out of the way, and there's a third LED or a fourth LED, and there's a green one. So, and that one is used to light up his eyes green, which I think is really ingenious the way that works. So there you go. There's your lights, and then again one more time we can just pop in the missiles right there and fire these off by pulling on this, just like so, which is pretty cool. One gripe that I do have with this figure, and it is the actual shoulder cannons right there. These cannons right here on the shoulders. In the show, these guys were not out all the time like they are here. These guys only came out, whenever he was going to use them, or for an attack or whatever. So it would have been nice to have some sort of retractable feature here where these could be put away. Or maybe take them off and then plug them in where you want to use them or something like that. And be able to display him on your shelf without the cannon sticking out of his chest. That's a bit unfortunate, but, as it is, it's not terrible. And then one last thing we have is his rifle. Now, his rifle can be used on either arm. There's a port right on the bottom of the buttstock, and you can see these little pegs. These are the pegs that we used earlier to peg the arms into the wheels. So you go ahead and just open up his arm and then just reach back here and peg the gun into that port right there, into that peg right there, and it does a very good job of making it look like he's holding up his rifle, as you can see. So yeah, very cool figure. Like I said, it's very fiddly. Now, that's not to say it's not fun to play with. It's very fun to play with this figure. I really do enjoy it a lot. It's just that filming this thing and trying to get everything that it does in front of the camera and trying to fit the whole thing in front of the camera has been extremely challenging. But without the camera in front of me, I enjoy this figure a lot. I think it's a lot of fun to play with. I enjoy all the modes. Yeah, they are crazy. They require a lot of imagination, but the fact that they are crazy is part of the reason why I love it so much. So there you go. I think with that, we're pretty much done with Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Optimal Optimus. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.